Hello everybody, I am Hussain Kalolwala, founder and CEO of K&A, a corporate communication consultancy based out of Bombay and Calcutta. It is indeed an honor and a privilege to be present among my dear friends, a part of the corporate communications and the PR team on this most coveted platform and share my views on it. As we continue to deliberate on the topic of the sustainability, we all agree that it is probably the most talked agenda of our times. While it continues to gain prominence, there's a shared consensus on the idea of sustainability. The innate focus on the concept of sustainability revolves around meeting the needs of the present without compromising the needs of the future. Taking into account its environment, economic, and social impact, I believe that the concept of sustainability is going to continue to evolve in the years to come. Very often I get to hear from my clients, Hussain, you need to do something on sustainability. My response, what is your idea of sustainability? Yes, it is true that the burden of sustainability as of now largely lies on the corporates and the business houses. Why? Because they are the ones at the heart of a growing economy and an ever-increasing population. But are they the only ones to be blamed for the depleting natural resources? What about you and me? Aren't we supposed, as individuals, to do something about building a sustainable future? Yes, definitely I'm not an expert on what actions one has to take to build a sustainable future. But I'll definitely try and leave you all with a sense of understanding of what the word sustainability means to you, me, and everybody. A word that was earlier popular among only environmentalists and economists, but is now popular and a very common jargon almost everywhere. Even right here, we are discussing about sustainability in a PR conference. From its core concept of encompassing only environmental sustainability, today the word sustainability covers almost every aspect of our life. In totality, sustainability covers today and probably revolves around three pillars: ESG as you know it, environment, society, and governance. I will try and build a bridge between sustainability and reporting and how it has become increasingly relevant for everybody to not just talk about sustainability but walk the talk. Enterprises are now required to report facts, figures, variations, positive or negative, on their operations and processes that define the multiple facets of sustainability. The growing prominence of regulatory frameworks by globally acknowledged entities such as the Global Reporting Initiative or the GRI, the CDP Global, the International Integrated Reporting Council or the IIRC, the SASB, the Sustainable Development Goals as defined by the United Nations, the United Nations Framework on Convention and Climate Change, the World Development Council, all of these have defined a framework that has brought the spotlight back on an inclusive approach. These frameworks have compelled the corporates to shed more focus on sustainability or rather holistic sustainability, and that has probably changed or redefined their work order. Regulations in our country have also evolved, critically appraising stakeholder sustainability. The introduction of the business responsibility reporting by the SEBI, PMO's initiatives supported by the Niti Aayog, National Guidelines of Responsible Business Conduct, and National Voluntary Guidelines on Social, Environment, and Economic Responsibilities by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs have further encouraged and to a large extent mandated an inclusive reporting for corporates factoring all the stakeholders. Okay, that list was long, but yes, sustainability reporting for corporates is now more or less mandatory rather than voluntary. But as I said earlier, the responsibility of sustainability not just rests on the corporates, but on you and me as well. Did you know that the GRI has recently introduced a competitive business program to enable better integration of the SMEs into the global value chain and develop their capacity for sustainability reporting? In Peru, South America, more than 800 organizations have joined the local GRI workshops and events. And in South Africa, more than 100 SMEs have received training on how to meet the GRI standards and develop their capacity for sustainability reporting. On a serious note, the relevance of sustainability cannot be ignored for very long now. Wildfires, heat waves, droughts, hurricanes, and a growing list of propensity of natural disasters have opened our eyes to a new reality. The planet needs our attention. The United Nations continues to warn how these acts are humanly driven, and climate change is leading us to a future that we definitely do not want to be a part of. Did you know that water is now being a traded commodity on Wall Street since early December, joining the ranks of gold and oil? Farmers, hedge funds, and municipalities will now be able to bet against or bet on the future availability of water in California, the biggest US agricultural market and the world's fifth largest economy. Water, yes, water will now be soon a traded commodity amidst the fears of acute water shortage in the region. Talking of investments and trading, companies are now striving up their game to build a sustainable and a green business model. What started with Dow Jones Sustainability Index in the US has now become a reality in India too, with thematic indices like the Nifty 100 ESG and the Nifty 100 Enhanced ESG Index. Companies with a visibly better score of an ESG will be placed on that particular indices. Individuals as well as institutional investors are now shifting their focus, or rather the investment focus, towards companies which are built with a ethical as well as a environmental or a sustainable business model and are built for a better tomorrow. Companies across the world are also rushing to take their new net zero global warming pledges. Oil companies like BP and Shell have shifted their focus to sustainability endeavors that offset their impact on the environment. Carbon emissions from the energy sector alone are by far the greatest. As a result, oil majors are earmarking significant investments towards nature-based solutions that seek to improve their contribution towards establishment of the new carbon-neutral world order. Political landscapes too are changing due to the difference of opinion and understanding of the word sustainability. I honestly believe that President-elect Joe Biden did have a reason to win the US presidential elections 2020 for his commitment to put the United States of America back into the Paris Agreement once he's elected. That certainly did have an impact on the general public. Who knew a 16-year-old Greta Thunberg or an 8-year-old Lesipriya Kangujam or an 11-year-old Ridhima Pandey would challenge world leaders on taking immediate actions against climate change? And world leaders are listening. They are taking action, making commitments. Bhutan has emerged as a carbon negative nation, while New Zealand has promised to become a zero carbon nation by 2050. These are just a couple of names that I can recall. But there are many more countries and organizations, and everybody is taking a pledge going forward towards sustainability. Companies too are doing their part, and they're redefining the purpose and the vision to build a focus around sustainability as a part of their business model. Renewable energy, climate change, gender diversity, carbon neutrality, inclusive growth, these are not just words today. These are action points on which individuals, corporates, and countries are acting. In a world where natural resources are fast depleting at a greater rate than it can be regenerated, we have exceeded the carrying capacity of our global ecosystem. It is therefore now the time that we have to realign our actions and set our sights in the right direction to initiate conversations in boardrooms and elsewhere, like here, to bring back the attention to what really matters. Sustainability in itself is a very broad concept. To keep it relevant and meaningful, it must be tweaked at a local context. I believe our commitment and continuous efforts to instill sustainability at our workplaces, communities, and institutions can help us achieve realistic goals and achieve the broader aspect of sustainability. By promoting sustainability as a shared value, we can mold our actions into responsible behavior. The solutions created thereof must be designed to bridge the gap between the knowledge and the action. It must be easily adaptable and adjustable to the way of our life to make noticeable yet impactful differences. Instead of remaining focused on doing less damage, we now have to focus and participate in the regeneration process to improve the health of our ecological system and find solutions that enhance the quality of life and promote the well-being of people and the planet. I thank you all for your precious time and sincerely hope that we do our bit on not just talking about sustainability but walking the talk, as well as reporting that and sharing our actions with everybody else so that we build a better tomorrow. Thank you.